Hey, what is up guys, it's Diego back in the video. Today we're going to be talking about some Jurassic World Evolution, something that I feel like I have not talked about in a while, and it actually has been a while. I think it's been like 2 months since I last did a video on anything relating to Jurassic World Evolution, which might not seem like a long time, but there was a point on my channel where I just wouldn't go too many videos without talking about Jurassic World Evolution. And there are several periods in which I would talk about announcements, updates, DLC releases, and of course speculation on some of the things that could happen to the game. And there are many points where Frontier did take like hiatuses from updating or giving us any new Jurassic World Evolution content, mainly because behind the scenes they were working on Jurassic World Evolution content to push out. But during that time, a lot of us would speculate what that content would be and how it affects the future for Jurassic World Evolution. Now, I feel like when it comes to Jurassic World Evolution, we've come at a point to it where we pretty much have everything. We have everything that should have been released into the base game in the first place, and now that I feel like everybody thinks that we now have a complete game, I don't really know what Frontier is going to be doing next. And usually it's easier, you know, it was definitely easier making these kind of videos talking about the future of Jurassic World Evolution back then, before all these DLCs and updates, mainly because that's the kind of stuff that we wanted. But now that we have pretty much everything, there's not really much I could see in terms of DLCs for Jurassic World Evolution, because I feel like we've covered pretty much everything. Maybe in the future when Dominion comes out, or maybe Frontier might want to branch off another story, we'll get another DLC then, but I just don't think there's enough content for Frontier to work with to actually push out a full-on DLC. At least that's just what I think. It's possible they can, but I feel like when it comes to the DLCs, I don't think we're going to be seeing too much of it. And I'm not the only one that thinks this way, because apparently there's rumors out there that the Return for Jurassic Park DLC was the last DLC that Frontier was working on for Jurassic World Evolution. So I don't really see another DLC coming out for a very long while, if we do get one at all. Really, I don't really see us getting another DLC, again, mainly because, first off, they did announce that there was going to be a game that they're working on that's going to be releasing in 2021, and many people suspect that it's going to be Jurassic World Evolution 2. So I feel like when it comes to Jurassic World Evolution, you know, given that there is going to be a part 2, I don't really see a whole lot of DLCs being planned for this one, especially since this apparent sequel that is still not confirmed, but is speculated or said to come out pretty soon. So I just don't really see Frontier putting a whole lot of focus and effort into DLCs when they're already putting their efforts into this new game that might be an apparent sequel to Jurassic World Evolution, I guess. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like people kind of treat this as if it was actually confirmed, as if this game that Frontier is apparently working on, that's going to be releasing pretty soon, is the actual sequel to Jurassic World Evolution. Like it's like they treat it as if like it's 100%, it's confirmed. I don't know anything about it because I didn't really put too much thought into it, and I don't really know where this all came from. But this is a rumor in the community that, you know, Frontier is working on a part 2, and basically in this part 2 there's going to be a bunch of new stuff, better basically they're just going to make Jurassic World Evolution but a lot better, a lot more advanced, giving us more stuff, less limitations. And I guess, I mean, that sounds cool and all, but it just leads me to believe that if this is an actual thing, I don't really see them spending a whole lot of time on Jurassic World Evolution too much after that, because once that game comes, then if this game is an actual thing and Frontier gives us all of that, it will no doubt be better than Jurassic World Evolution, and people will be putting their main focus on that game rather than Evolution. So obviously Frontier is going to want to spend more time with that sequel and work on that rather than pumping out more content for Evolution. I could be wrong about that, but I just feel like that's kind of what it seems like. So as far as DLCs, I don't really see a whole lot more DLCs coming out, but as far as updates and like additions here and there to the game, I definitely see Frontier adding more decoration related stuff, maybe more dinosaurs, I don't really know if they're gonna release maybe another dinosaur pack, because I feel like that's usually what they do after an update or before an update, or not update, sorry, before a DLC or after a DLC. They release like a dinosaur pack that has like a few dinosaurs in it for us to buy. They're usually like $5. It's not that expensive, but it just seems like padding for content, basically. That way it looks like Frontier is trying to give us stuff, but in reality they're just giving us more dinosaurs to cram into our parks. But whatever, I don't really know what I could really speculate in terms of dinosaurs. The only dinosaur that has a significance to the franchise that we're missing in Jurassic World Evolution is Stegosaurus, I think. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, but you know which one I'm talking about. This is another dinosaur that has, again, a significance to the franchise, but we still don't have it in the game. So I could see them adding this dinosaur, and I guess I could see them adding it in a pack with a few others. And I mean, they're dinosaurs. There's several different dinosaurs that Frontier obviously haven't put in their game. So obviously Frontier has a lot to work with in that department. One of the things that I was wondering though is, what is Frontier gonna do about the pterosaurs? Is the Pteranodon literally the only dinosaur, or sorry, I guess not dinosaur, this prehistoric reptile that we're gonna get in Jurassic World Evolution? I mean, do they plan on adding any more pterosaurs, or are we just gonna be stuck with the one? Because I mean, yes, if you guys have watched, my review on Jurassic World, the Return to Jurassic Park DLC, then you'll know I'm not a huge fan of the aviaries and the pteranodons, because they're just wasted potential, as several things are in this game. But regardless, I still feel like Frontier can fix that. I feel like Frontier can make it better through time. They can update the game and maybe actually give a pteranodon maybe some animations and giving it more purpose than what it has, basically. But they, because Frontier obviously lacked when it came to the aviaries, at least in my opinion they did. But the least they can do is maybe give us a variety of pterosaurs to choose from. That way, at least if we're going to be putting an aviary in our parks, we could have the choice to have different types of creatures to put in them. So I could see Frontier adding more pterosaurs, maybe a pterosaur pack. I feel like I don't really know what else they can do in terms of dinosaurs, though. I guess again, there's a lot to work with. Frontier could just do whatever. They could release whatever dinosaur they want. But in terms of significance to the franchise, or just giving more variety, they have some things to work with, but not much. So don't really know what else there is. I'm mainly looking at the fact that Frontier could just add in more decoration pieces. They could add in more buildings and stuff like that. Small things like that I feel like Frontier can definitely work with as far as updates and just random additions go. And of course, there's some things that I wanted to speculate about. Apparently, Frontier changed their in-store tags and made Jurassic World Evolution a survival / multiplayer game, which is it's kind of weird because it's neither of those. Jurassic World Evolution is a park builder, so I don't really see the survival or multiplayer aspect of it. But this obviously had a lot of people speculating that maybe this is basically Frontier has the ideas of maybe having a new game mode, a survival mode, or maybe a multiplayer addition to the game. Not really sure how they're going to do that. Some people said that maybe as far as multiplayer goes, basically we could visit other people's parks, which I think is kind of cool. Now, I was thinking about it and I couldn't really tell at first how Frontier would actually do the multiplayer in that sense, but then I thought that maybe what Frontier can do is in the form, we could basically enter people's parks in the form of guests, and we could actually walk around kind of like GTA 5 style, because I'm pretty sure that that's already been done in Zoo Tycoon games or whatever, these park building games, where you could actually take over an AI and walk around and interact with people and vehicles and the actual animals, which I think is really cool. And I feel like that's definitely something that you can do for Jurassic World Evolution, and for a multiplayer mode, I guess. When you visit somebody else's park, you can go in the form of a guest and actually interact with stuff. And there could be an option settings where you give people certain access to specific things, like access to open the gates, or access to the vehicles, or maybe even getting into buildings, and of course having the option to deny them the access of all those things, just in case you don't want anybody messing with your park and releasing dinosaurs. And when it comes to the survival part, I really don't know what they could do with that, and it feels like immediately after people saw that survival was a part of that new tag that Frontier put for Jurassic World Evolution, they immediately just thought Battle Royale, because yes, they want an overused concept apparently. I think it's mainly people just saying they don't want a Battle Royale, because when it comes to a survival mode, I can only think of two things really. The Battle Royale, first one, yes, and second, there's the, I guess, Primal Carnage Extinction style survival mode, where basically you have to survive waves of dinosaurs, and each wave gets progressively hard, and you use, weapons to kill these dinosaurs for each wave. And I think there's like different dinosaurs in every wave. I'm not really sure. I haven't really played that mode in a long time. So when I think of those two modes, I can't really see how they can be incorporated into Jurassic World Evolution, because first off, Jurassic World Evolution is not a survival or multiplayer game, just on default. So just that in itself, you could kind of tell why it wouldn't work, but mainly because it doesn't really fit the aesthetic that Jurassic World Evolution has, To me, a survival mode just seems a little bit out of place in comparison to some of the things that we've gotten before. And I do like the idea of having a new mode on Jurassic World Evolution, because the last one that was added, the challenge mode, as fun as it can be sometimes, I'm pretty sure that just being stuck with two modes of this whole game, a sandbox mode and a challenge mode, aside from the campaign itself, I could kind of understand why people would lose interest in this game before long. So a new mode seems like something that's perfect for Jurassic World Evolution. It's not as big as a DLC, so they don't have to put too much time and effort, but it's big enough to give us something to do in this game, where essentially you kind of just run out of ideas after a while, and you just really don't know what to do after you build all these parks. So I feel like that's a good idea, and that's definitely the route they should take. A survival mode, though, I don't really think would work. Maybe they might find a way to incorporate it. Again, this is just speculation, mainly because Frontier hasn't outright confirmed anything. But based on what I've seen, I feel like it's possible they would, and they could, add a survival mode. And if they did, who knows? Maybe they'll surprise me, and they'll actually find a way to incorporate a survival mode into Jurassic World. God, can't talk today. Into Jurassic World Evolution. But honestly, in my opinion, I just feel like it just doesn't fit the tone of this whole game. I feel like it's a little out of place, and I just don't see it really working. But again, who knows? Maybe if this is a thing, they'll surprise me. And when it comes to multiplayer, I think it could work. I think Frontier definitely should get on that, because I like the idea of visiting other people's parks, and I feel like the way I portrayed it, or the way that I suggested how they should do it, as how you visit other people's park is basically just taking over an AI guest and walk around the park. I think that's definitely something that they should work on. You still limited, but at the same time, you could still travel and explore and walk around the park and interact with things. I think that's definitely a good idea, and something that Frontier should definitely do. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say for now. I just want to make this short little video kind of talking about all of the possible things that could be happening in the future for Jurassic World Evolution. If you guys enjoyed this, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Jurassic World Evolution content and other cool dinosaur stuff I post on this channel. That's all I have to say for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and please have a nice day.